Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful pocket books. They're really easy and simple to make, but they look quite complicated. So let me show you. This is the accordion part. It can open all the way. Then we have pockets that I have filled up with things. And this is the beauty of this project. You can take it any way you want. So I've just popped things in, I've clipped things into these panels over here, and you can see that I've done some sewing, but you definitely don't need to do any sewing. The example that I do in this tutorial, I've actually only used glue. And then you come to the end, but then it keeps going. So on this side we have the journaling, lots of journaling space. I have bound in some signatures and I'll show you how to do that as well. I'll show you the little one. This is a simpler sort of project, so you can actually see this is kind of the bare bones, but I've got some tags in this. So it's an accordion book that opens up, but then we have all of these sections that we can do something fun with. So in this tutorial, we are actually going to make this one, and we are going to do everything step by step, including creating it, creating the cover, filling it up, and also adding some signatures at the back and the closure. Everything is done on video. So I have the notes over here so you can follow along and you can take a screenshot at the end. And this is just one of those projects that when people see it or when you gift it to a friend, they will look at something like this and they will say, wow, I would never be able to make something like this, right? But in all honesty, anybody could make something like this. And you will see that once you see this video. Let's get started. For this project, I'm using 4 square sheets of paper. And this size that I'm doing today is 8.5 by 8.5. This one here was 6 by 6. And the big one was 12 by 12. So I really wanted something kind of in between, and I did 8.5 by 8.5, and I'm using 4. So once done, I will have 8 pockets, and then I will also have 4 spaces at the back if I want to add some signatures. So you can certainly have lots of fun with this. You can have more papers, you can have less papers. So it's up to you. I am starting with 4. Oh, and by the way, my papers are not double-sided. So you will see here I mentioned the correct side up. So because it's not double-sided, the pattern side is my correct side up. All right, so for step number 1, I want to have my paper on the correct side up and fold it in half diagonally from corner to corner. So you can have it like a diamond here and then fold it in half. So you want to have a triangle, not a rectangle when you fold. And I'm trying to have those edges meet as perfect as I can. For step number 2, we want to open that paper and we're turning it to the other side. So turning it to this side where the fold is popping up. So the fold is not going down, it's popping up. And now we need to find the exact center and mark it with a pencil. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can measure, which is what I'm going to do. So I have my center mark in there. And if you don't want to measure, you can always just fold the other 2 sides like this. But don't crease this down, just sort of find that middle like that. And then it will give you, you see, it gives you the middle. It's right there where my pencil mark is. So, but I don't know, I don't like unnecessary creases in my paper, which is why I use my ruler. All right, now that we found the exact center, we want to fold all of the sides to that center. So I'm going to start over here and I'm folding to that mark. And I'm creasing it down. So you can see how I folded it right to that pencil mark. And now I'm going to do the same for the other 3 sides. So they will all meet in the middle. And here we go, everything is folded into the middle, and now we have this shape like a square. See? And that's pretty much it, but let's go to the next step. So what we're doing now is we're opening the side triangles, the ones that don't have a fold in them. So you can see, if you can see, this one has a fold in them. So they're the ones that stay down. I'm opening the other 2 to the side like this. Okay, and these will be the sides that attach to the other segments. So Now when I fold this back like this, that's pretty much it. So these are the pockets and these are the sides here that attach to the other sides. That is all you have to do. So now what we're doing is exact same thing for the other three, and then we will join them together. So I'm going to speed this process up. I might just do another one on camera, and then I'll finish off the others off camera. So we are folding it diagonally. Open that paper up so that we have the fold popping up. And now we're finding the exact center, and I might do it this way this time. Make sure everything is meeting right there, and then just pinch here. And now I can see my exact center. I'm going to mark it with a pencil just like that, and fold my sides in. And there we go. So now we're opening the sides that don't have the fold in them, these ones, and folding this one back. And here we go. So you can see now that I've made two. It's all making sense. So then you would just glue them together here. All right, we'll do that next. All right, here we go. So step 6 is complete. The same has been done for the remaining pieces, sheets of paper. So now all we have to do is join them together. So I'm just going to have a look in which sort of order I want my papers to go. So maybe I'll have this one to be first, second. So I have put them in order that I like. And now I'm going to start with these two first, and I simply have to glue these two together. So what I have done previously in these ones, you can see when I put my little triangles together, I went ahead to my sewing machine and I just sewn those two sides together to keep them closed. But I think for this video, I'm going to do just gluing them together, but most certainly you can go ahead and use your sewing machine as well. So just in case you want to know, the way if I was to use my sewing machine, I kind of put them back to back like this. Make sure they meet perfectly the way I want them to, and then I take it to my sewing machine and put it through those two sides. So I'm just going to apply glue to one side, and yeah, it is kind of a little bit annoying. The pretty printed side is now going to disappear, but if I had it turned the other way, then I would have the printed side, you know, the printed side here inside, and then the pockets would be white. So it's up to you. If you want to do it that way, you can, you know, make adjustments. Okay, so I've applied some glue to just this one side, and then I'm going to join this side together with the one that has glue. And here we go. So I'm just trying to make sure that they are meeting perfectly, and maneuver that around until that's a perfect meet. That looks pretty good. Maybe I can use my bone folder to make sure that that's adhered properly and see if there's any glue seeping out. Okay, and that's one done. You see? It's really so easy. And now I'm just going to continue with these ones. So this is my next one. All right, now I'm going to apply glue here and glue them two together, and then do the same for my last one. And you can just keep going on and on and on. So another thing you can do, which is, I'm not doing it here, but it's an option. Instead of gluing down this full flap, you can just glue the side. You can just apply the glue to the sides here. And then once you join them together, instead of this section to be completely glued together, which is what is going to happen with my ones, you will have, if you just glue the sides, you will have spaces in there. So you can pop things in, you know. It's just another option. See? Seriously so easy. There's the book, okay? And it's now what you do with it that makes it fun, you know. You can keep going with these pockets, and you will find that at these initial stages of creating this will keep happening. It will just keep popping open, but after a while you'll see, especially if you leave it under something heavy, like this one's been under something heavy for about 2 nights, and you can see it's not springing. It was springing completely open, but it's not anymore. Okay, so now we will create a cover. And for this sized 8.5 sheets of paper that I've used and folded up, I have cut out my cover, which is going to be slightly larger than the panels. So you can see here, it's only slightly larger. And the size that I've cut it down to, I have 4 panels that are the same. And it's just over 3 inches. by 6 1/8. But the way that I did it is I just popped this onto some black paper and just marked slightly larger than the panel, so that I have a little bit of black showing around. And I often have people telling me, can you give, centimeters? You can always just type it into Google. 3 1/16 of an inch, how much is that in centimeters? And then you'll get, Okay, so there's different options that you can do. I'm doing just the one option, obviously, but you can just have a piece of cardstock and glue the one side onto the cardstock and have the opening look like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sandwich this flap in between the two pieces of cardstock, which is why I needed 4 pieces. I need 2 for the front and 2 for the back. You can have a removable cover, which is what I did for this one. You can see it's a removable cover. So all I did is I've sewn around. You can glue around, but you leave that space open, so it can be taken on and off if you wish. It's just an option. For my large one, I simply just glue them together, so these covers cannot be taken off. They're not going anywhere. And that's what I'm going to do for this one here. So first thing I'm going to do is glue my front panel to here. All right, and I want to make sure that I glue it right in the center. So I'll just pop it on now and then maneuver it. It doesn't matter that I'll have glue all over this card, because it's going to be covered with the other side anyway. But if you're planning just to have the one cardstock, then be careful of the glue going everywhere. So that's kind of looking good, and now I just want to double check when this one goes on top if it's going to close properly. So I want them to meet, and then that's it. It's as simple as that. And now all I have to do is glue this on top of this. So I'm using 2 glues. This is my main dude. This is the one that's going to keep everything together for sure, and my glue stick is kind of like a little helper. I wouldn't rely on the helper to hold it together, but it doesn't hurt to have the helper around, so that's why I'm using 2 glues. If you watch my channel, this is nothing new. And now glue that on top. And these covers, they definitely give this a little bit of structure, so it's not flimsy. All right, now I'm going to do the exact same thing from my back cover. So I've got 2 more panels, and I'm going to sandwich this in between these 2, and just make sure that everything is glued down really well. Now I'm going to embellish my front cover. So what I'll do is I'm just going to line it with this piece of paper. It was an offcut from when I was cutting my papers, so I'm going to glue that down. Here we go. So you can obviously skip this step if you're using some pretty patterned cardstock, so it's already looking embellished. I couldn't just leave it black. So, and now I'm just going to add a few other pieces here. So this is the have fun part, because you can this can go in many different ways, and you can use so many different things to embellish. Just use what you have. This is a stamp that I have, and I just stamped it on a scrap piece of paper. I still want to add a closure, but I'm going to fill it up first, and then I will add a closure. Another thing you can do, so you can see with this one, I've only embellished the front cover. With this one here, I have sort of put this label over here, but I have also lined the other, panels with scrapbook paper or pretty paper. For this one, I'm just going to do the front here, just to save some time. Okay, so now I want to fill it up. This could be used for lots of different things, but let's say I want to carry this in my purse with me, at all times. So perhaps I would like to have some money in there. This is a Aussie money. All right, so maybe I would like to have a little notebook in there. So I'll pop that in here. Next, perhaps I can have some of my business cards with me, which I don't have business cards, but we can pretend these are business cards, pop them in there. Okay, perhaps I can have some like planner type stickers with me, pop them in there. Maybe I can have a to-do paper pad. I can put down all the things that need to be done today or this week. I might want to have a little something like this with, you know, different types of papers in there that I can use when I'm out and about. Maybe I have my journal with me, you see. And then I need some extra bits and pieces. Okay, I might have some tags in there, you know. And my 8th pocket, I might have some stickers that I can use. It's pretty cool. I can also clip some things over here. Okay, so maybe I can have a little photograph of my children or whatever, you know, clipped in, as long as it fits into the fold. Why do I talk like that? Into the fold. Maybe I can have some little postage stamps. You know, we might need postage stamps. Looks quite cool. We can hold our receipts in there, you know, all sorts of things. Just clip in things. I don't know. This is over here on my desk. Maybe I can clip it in just for fun. All right, so anyway, that's what you can do. And then if you wanted to sew in signatures, you wouldn't sort of turn it upside down because you want it to be a continuous book. Well, that was my reasoning. And then you would sew in your signatures in there. I'm going to do just one signature somewhere. I might do it in this one here. It would be better if I had an uneven number of folds so I can put my signature right in the middle, but I've got 4 folds and I'm going to choose this one here. So I am going to, I've prepared some papers. I have a signature prepared. So there's 5 papers, 5 sheets that I've folded and, you know, cut to the size that I need. So I want it to fit inside. I don't want it to be sticking out. And this is how I did it. So it is, to me, it's important that things look good, okay? So see how all of my middle, you know, my binding went right in the middle of those papers that meet. Here, let me show you here. I want my binding to be, that middle hole to be right in there. I don't want it to be here going through. I don't know. That was my thing. So the way that I did that, if I'm binding into this one, I open it up this way. Very hard to see. I already have marked the exact middle from when I was folding, so I'm just going to poke a hole there, trying not to stab myself. And then I'm pretty sure with my first one that I did, I actually bound everything in first and then I filled up the journal. So now I have my exact center over here. So now I just have to find my exact center over here. I was trying to fold it, but it's just creasing up the paper too much. I'm not a fan. So here we go. So I have my exact center. Okay, I've got I'm going to use embroidery floss, so that's all ready. And now what I need to do is I'm using my awl. I'm going to punch all the way through there. And then I'm going to pop that in here. So that's through on the other side. And now I need to make another 2 holes. So I'm holding that in place in there. That's snug with the spine. And I'm just making another 2. I'm just eyeballing it over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. So see, that's gone through. And then same thing over here. And I really, really want it to go right through the middle. Let's see. Kind of a little bit difficult to see. But it's right in that fold. So that's what I'm looking for. Definitely a lot easier to do this before you actually put things into your journal. So now I'm doing the 3 pamphlet stitch. So I'm going in from the inside to the outside. Oh, the needle just... All right, so we're on the outside. Now I'm going back in through that hole. There we go. In through here. Back out, so through here. Out. And then I'm holding this side tight, and then I'm going to go back through the middle. Most of you know how to do the 3 pamphlet stitch. I have started sort of speeding up this process in my videos because I've shown it that many times, but I still get a lot of comments saying that binding was too fast. I didn't, you know, see what you were doing, but it's a 3 pamphlet stitch. So there's lots of tutorials there. There's 5 pamphlet stitch as well that you can use. If this didn't make sense what I did just now, you can just search 3 pamphlet stitch tutorial. And here we go. I'm going to tie a knot and then a bow. And just kind of work that in a little bit so it's not kind of sitting open like that. Anyway, so that will do. All right, so you can go ahead and you can have a little signature in each of these back panels, or just in a two. Really, I could make another one here, but I don't want to sort of, you know, overdo it. And now the last thing this one needs is a closure. And I think this black ribbon closure will look really nice. Goes with the black, you know, and the black frame there. So, and see, this one's actually, because of its larger size, it's not popping open. This one was popping open like that. And there we go. So we have 12 by 12. Sorry, I used sheets that were 12 by 12. Obviously, this is not 12 by 12, clearly. Then I used sheets which were 8 by 8. And then this little one, you can see, that was from 6 by 6 paper pad. This one has the removable covers. You can make them really, really quite simple. Just have a few tags in there. Or you can be as elaborate as you feel like. That's the beauty of this craft. You know, you can take it many ways and you can put your own spin on it and your own personal creativity, individuality, etc. So let me know what you guys think of this video. I hope you had fun watching and I hope you'll make this project. It's really easy. Once you have a few of these sort of, you know, folded and ready to go, you can just go ahead and make something beautiful today. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, I completely forgot. Here are the instructions for the Accordion Pocket Book. I mean, I always say you don't really need these instructions because it's so easy. It is easy when you remember the steps, but it's hard to remember the steps if you haven't done it in a while. So here you go. If you wanted to take a screenshot, please drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think. And once again, thank you for being here and I'll see you next time. Bye.